It's an excellent start, and he wants Usyk to engage.
Backs him up. Did they affect him? He's in this gap with real, minimum effort.
And that's really lights out.
Have a good clean fight. Shake hands, best of luck to both. God bless you.
Top of his game. Tony Bellew, Eddie Hearn, and better.
This follows on from the Super Series, World Super Series of boxing, which is in that as well. Obviously, Tony Bellew coming off the back of the two David Hay fights. So we expect him to come in here, but he knows this mammoth task in front of him.
Bellew grabbing centre ring and trying to double up the
awareness. He knows where he is also. He's got bags of experience, amateur and professional. Sit back and just pot shot and hope Usyk, who's so technically proficient and so busy with his work, doesn't really look for power, Usyk, but from Tony, but Usyk really just finding his feet.
Cannot let himself get backed up, gloves high, load on him. Does he turn it into a dog counter at range?
I think I'd like to see him sit back with problems. I don't care what you say, doesn't mean you always lose against them, but it's hard to get the sparring against these left-handed fighters.
Wife Rachel in one of the boxes here tonight. She doesn't normally for the last time, Tony Bellew. Oleksandr Usyk trying to cement his Wrangle belt, and it's the first time ever that all four belts have been defended or challenged for on these shores. It's a momentous night
between these two at the minute, and it's understandable. There's so much at stake. Tony Bellew very proficiently and with expertise, so they'll stand. Tony Bellew can kind of take his time for a couple of rounds and settle into this.
And the bookmakers giving Bellew little on points. Good shot from Bellew there. Adam Booth thinks he's got a really good opportunity here as he tries to work about that in the build-up, that Usyk's been hurt to the body as an amateur.
Tony looking for power to the body and landing, also with a right hand there. This is good work from Tony Bellew early on.
It's an excellent start, and he wants Usyk to engage, and so the crowd. But he says he's going to land his big punches, and the power will be the
Usyk in. He's trying to draw him in so he can land a big counter punch, and here it comes. Tony Bellew. Let's hear.
Bellew switching to southpaw, one of the first times I've ever seen that through his long career. He's trying to confuse Usyk, not let him get set, and when they get it close, Oleksandr Usyk takes centre ring and comes out fast for a shot at Anthony Joshua. That's the dream for the tight team from the Ukraine. This is meant to be the showcase fight.
Don't underestimate Tony Bellew's boxing ability. If he doesn't want to and move in circles, not in straight lines, he's good at it. So to get to work and start to land some shots. So Bellew will be waiting with that right-hand counter there with full effect. You just caught the end of that one there, but as Usyk drew...
All styles knows the tricks of the 12-round distance. Usyk unbeaten, but he's walking into these right hands.
Good right-hand counter there from Tony Bellew. Nobody expected this. Good head movement, and he just, nonchalantly shakes his hands on his head. All caught a little bit tricky there, Tony Bellew. Got a little bit careless.
Many in Britain want Tony Bellew to triumph in his life. Starting to warm up, Usyk.
Tony Bellew waiting for the counter. Usyk unsure. He's not confident in committing with anything. And there's Tony Bellew on the attack there and putting Usyk straight away on his back foot.
These right hands, Bellew, when most people felt it would be the other way around.
So, in the lines down here in Manchester against Tony Bellew, who's got the backing of the crowd. This is unknown territory. Another great...
Has plenty of time to get into...
To win the first round. It's a bit of a standoff, but...
Oh, big left hand from Usyk. First king, Bellew takes it.
Well, if Bellew switches off against somebody like Usyk, who's very quick, he's got fast hands, he doesn't look for power. Bellew's looking for power, so that slows the punches down.
But doesn't Bellew...
He wants this up close, but he could do with getting it up close a bit later when Usyk sees Bellew's fight. But Usyk doing the right things here, backing up Bellew.
A one-like jab. Oleksandr Usyk, who we saw give Vladimir Klitschko loads of trouble in sparring a few years ago, and this is better from the Ukrainian, and he's
got to change it up now. He's been probably told. That looked like a good right hand there from Tony Bellew. Bellew was in range with that right hand, and that's what he's looking for. That right hand right there.
Big shot from Tony Bellew, and Usyk frowned
Well, Tony Bellew knew that he landed that right hand there. Really put Usyk on his back foot in some serious trouble.
Usyk trying to dig the punches in. Left hand gets through. Really a minute to go in the fourth. Nice right hand as well. And Usyk just not.
Well, really hotling up now. I mean, Tony Bellew landing big shots, looking for them and landing them as Usyk backs him up. Did they affect him? Not bothered him, he will keep coming forward. Shots like that and doesn't have much of an effect and starts to feel the pace as it goes on then. It's bad news. Some good work there as Tony Bellew dropped his arms and, you know, got a bit careless.
Nice left hand from Usyk. Back comes Bellew.
Both can happen.
But how much confidence will that give Usyk? The fact that he...
And Bellew's power in that round. He had moments of success, but Bellew, because Tony Bellew's quite happy to sit back and look for that counter.
Oleksandr Usyk writes poetry, loves solving puzzles, varieties. The world title wins. Marco Huck, Marius Bradis, Murat Gassiev.
You know, the results of fighters and say, you know, he would probably beat him, but, you know, nobody's giving... And look at the performance we're getting. Usyk now is having to force this and try and get something going, while Tony Bellew's able to sit back and land.
Good hook from Tony Bellew. Usyk floored in the amateurs with punches either. It's like Joe Joyce. A machine. So many calling him Usyk. But you
to land with that jab. I mean, Tony Bellew having his pressure's going to start heating up as this fight goes on. Good right hand from Bellew. What Usyk's man.
Right hand from Bellew. Just overreaching and a lovely jab.
With combinations off that jab, Tony Bellew does not want to sit there and let a southpaw jab land.
Still the right hands from Bellew. Haven't seen much of the left hook yet. Usyk not allowing that. But that's good stuff from Tony Bellew. And he's got a grip down on his gum shield there. Oleksandr's back to his family tonight. The ultimate challenge in what he promises is his love.
Exactly the same as you, Carl. I definitely think those the first and the fifth round are two kind.
On the Usyk, it's been anything but. Tony Bellew has not let him get settled. Nice work from Bellew. And he's teased us all week, hasn't he? Not telling us his tactics. Say, I'll just go and knock him out. But many believe that he would counter-punch, that he would try and outbox.
He's got the tactics right against David Hay a couple of times.
And he's able to jab again. But he is getting back in his favour.
He's certainly doing far more 3-6 than he did 1 and 2. Oleksandr Usyk. Tony Bellew's team have taken this at the halfway point, and would Oleksandr Usyk's?
Well, we'll see. I mean, it is very close. I've got Bellew ahead because round 2, 3 and 4 was good, but good right hand. Tony Bellew's tactics are good. He looks like he's breathing a bit heavy, and Usyk looks comfortable.
Good shot from Usyk right on the stone 4 cruiserweight belts on the line, the white and yellow of Oleksandr Usyk, who has definitely stepped it up dramatically. Tony, the British fighter, Usyk growing.
Yeah, as at the same time Tony Bellew looks like he's starting to tire and slow down, and he's looking for power shots half of this contest now. I know Tony Bellew's had a fantastic start. It's a massive ask, and I think David Hayes got something to say here.
Yeah, a really big body assault from the start of this round. At the end of that round, his corner master said, let's start working.
A little bit. He's sometimes whipping it up from the side now as a hooking position like that. That's how he hurt Bellew in the last round, and he's starting to throw it differently. There he goes again.
Looking concerned for Tony Bellew on his back foot as he's a little bit tired as Usyk backs him up here.
Comes back with a combination.
Awesome, but I doubt it against somebody of Usyk's quality, because that would be dangerous.
11 knockouts on the slate for Usyk in those 15 wins. Both can punch.
The treat so far, when he's up against the ropes 3 or 4 times, he swung the right hook and countered and landed on Usyk as he was punching.
He can put you off and you know, take that confidence. Usyk just comes forward with that smile.
Yeah, he's backing Bellew up again into the neutral corner. There's that left hand. Shown a great chin at cruiserweight, Bellew, and at heavyweight, as we saw against David. And now he's going for it. Tries as many picks for the best that's ever lived. Usyk wants to finish his cruiserweight reign here, and they've got to take care of Tony Bellew, but it's looking brighter for the Ukrainian, much brighter.
Yes,
language, and it's the physical manoeuvring around the ring of Usyk now. Bellew backed into a corner.
A bit unsteady on the legs, Tony Bellew, looking like he's wearing down, and these jabs and left crosses now, like that one, to send the blood splattering.
Yeah, big left hands from Oleksandr Usyk, and trouble for Bellew here in the 8th round.
Punches from Usyk, and you can see Tony Bellew wearing down, still looking for that right hand, still gallant, still brave, but Usyk is really closing this gap with real, minimum effort.
And that's really lights out for Tony Bellew. Dave Colwell straight in the ring. I think he's going to stop it. And Oleksandr Usyk finds the answer. And as Paulie said, he'd tried it a couple of times before, but it was disguised beautifully.
Bellew, when a guy adjusts to you, you have to adjust back, and Bellew never adjusted to that wide left hand Usyk started throwing.
The shots he was slipping earlier on, his reflexes and timing seemed to slow as his energy did. So that shot there, he probably could take that in the first or second round.
Punches are amplified massively when you're tired, and you saw that, and there's the effect of that looping left cross that lands by the quality operator in Oleksandr Usyk. And Tony Bellew left devastated on the floor there, but...
The winner by knockout victory, still undefeated and still the undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world from Ukraine, Oleksandr Usyk.